Give me a countdown.
There's a countdown. We got a countdown. Hey, what's going on, people? This is Pastor Doug Taylor, First Lady.
Hey, Taylor Made.
Hey, Taylor Made family. Hey, glad to have you guys on. Hey, let me, before we start, I want to make sure I share it. I'm excited about sharing tonight. I know this is going to be real cool. Hope you guys share this video as well. I don't even know. Yeah, make sure you share it because we want everybody to be a part of this great video. Yes. So I'm not ignoring you. We got some people coming on. I'm not ignoring you. I'm sharing this video.
I'm sharing too.
Is that me? I'm my own viewer.
Oh.
I'm my own viewer. Maybe I'm my own viewer.
Okay.
Yes. We're talking about what keeps us from communicating. Yes. So hopefully we communicate with you guys well tonight and everybody gets blessed. Amen. So, hey, thank y'all for chiming on in. Hey, come on in. So make your comments, do your shares, share it, let everybody know. Hey, I just got a notification that Doug Taylor shared this video. So, hey, we're excited. So, again, we're going to talk about why we can't communicate. Make sure you make your comments, ask questions, say something to let us know that you're on because we want to make sure that we have a great time tonight.
Amen.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump on into this thing. Tonight we're talking about what keeps couples from communicating. Right. We're talking about this obviously from a marriage perspective, but more than just from a marriage perspective, just about relationships at all. Right. Relationships as a board, across the board. Doesn't matter whether or not your parents, husbands, wives, church members, pastor. Everywhere you go, you always have to deal with the issue of communicating. We're actually teaching in service last night. Great series that we did on keys to communicating. And one of the things that we said is communication is the key to any relationship. Right. Without communication, there is really no relationship. We just exist. And so communication is key because it helps crisis be eliminated. Communication helps victories be expanded. Communication helps trust be developed. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight because that's one of the issues that we face more often than not as we work with couples, helping them to establish healthy communication. Right. So, we were all taught to talk. We were not all taught how to communicate. So, First Lady, talk to us about communicating.
Well, communication is not just talking. Communication is an exchange of thoughts, ideas, and perspectives that result in agreement of, or at least the appreciation of, varying positions, meaning we can agree to disagree.
Right. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, we don't have to argue about the fact that we disagree. Disagreeing is okay. Pastor and I just had a very good conversation where we were on two opposite ends of the spectrum right before this came on. But it's okay. We agreed to disagree. Amen?
Absolutely. We're able. We think on it. We come back and we reevaluate, and we're actually able to pause for a little while and explain our position and say, okay, this is why I think this, and this why I disagree. Well, we're able to counter and bounce off each other because, again, like First Lady said, communication is an exchange. Right. It's an exchange of ideas and thought processes, and she said it so well that we're either going to agree or appreciate. Right. It says that, okay, you're right, we're on the same page, or even if we don't agree, I can appreciate, well, I disagree, I don't think that. However, there is some validity to what you're saying. So maybe we can take a piece of what you're saying, a piece of what I'm saying, because it's all valuable, merge it together and come up with something that works for everybody. You got it?
Disagreeing does not mean you have to fall out.
Absolutely.
Just because you don't agree with the person or you don't have the same perspective or idea of how something should go, that doesn't mean you have to fall out. It's okay to not. You don't have to like everything somebody else like or agree with everything someone else does.
Absolutely. We were just totally disagreed, and so we can't come on Facebook and say your part. Since you know everything, you tell the folks about communication. Well, no, ultimately we want to work together, and I think we have to work together. Right. I look at marriage as a long-term, lifelong partnership, and so if she all I got, right, and she stuck with me, may as well make it work because she can't trade me in. So if she what I got and I'm what she got, let's make the best of it because we're gonna have to be with each other forever.
Right.
Hey, hope you guys are sharing this video. Make your comments, ask questions because we got some cool stuff that we're gonna share tonight.
Can you see the questions?
I don't think they comment on that yet.
Oh, okay.
So you guys make your comments if you do that. So here it is. So again, just a little rehash. First lady talked about communication more than just talking. Communication is an exchange. It's an exchange between at least two people. So talked about this a little bit last night. What happens is communication is affected by the emotional, social, psychological, and spiritual maturity and well-being of all people involved.
Right.
So until I become emotionally balanced,
right.
If I'm emotionally all over the place, if I'm spiritually immature, if I'm psychologically damaged, it hinders the ability of me and my partners to communicate. So I really have to look at myself first.
Right.
If I'm having issues in communicating in my relationships, before I look at what they're doing, I have to look at what's going on in my own head.
Right.
Is it that I don't process other people's positions well, which is what's causing me to have issues in my communication, my relationships?
You know, you've said it before though. It's like filters. It's how you filter. When someone says something, you filter it through so many different things. You filter it through your emotions. You filter it through your environment, your upbringing. Right. You filter it through so many different things. And we've got to learn how to get rid of all those filters because, a person can say something and the next thing you can say, oh my God, I really don't care for chicken. Oh, so you don't like how I cook?
Right.
And that's not really, you just eat chicken.
Exactly.
Not you eat
Absolutely.
Chicken.
Absolutely. So, not as much as I love you.
That's good because you really love chicken.
That's right, because I do love chicken. Check this out. Come on, let's talk for a little bit. Several things we have to grasp when we start setting rules for communication. Yes. Anything that does not have rules is chaos. So we got some rules we want to talk to you about communication tonight. First lady.
All right, 7 golden rules to communication.
7 golden rules to communication.
I think you gave me this one because you was trying to tell me something.
No.
It's not all about you.
Jesus.
What someone else says or does to you is never about you. It's not about you. Don't take what a person say personally. You run the risk of becoming defensive and the situation will escalate too quick. I'm telling you, it's really not about you. It's not.
Absolutely. I think it's always healthy to understand that when people make an opinion or people make a statement, it is not an attack on you personally. I have to understand that it's just a statement, and it is not attacking my position. It's not attacking my intelligence. It's not attacking my proficiency. It's just a statement.
Right.
So we have to understand again. Don't take all this stuff personal. Nobody. It's not all. Exactly. It's not always an attack. It's just a conversation. You got it.
Right.
Then we have to number 2. Don't treat an assumption as a fact. Don't assume. Don't make what you believe to be your own truth.
Right.
And that's so powerful because a lot of times I've had people say, well, she don't love me. I mean, I know my wife don't love me. Why? Because she done fixed my plate.
Right.
If she fixed my plate, what love is what love does. And so, he didn't cut the grass. I really feel so unloved. That's an assumption. And so just because that man does not cut the grass because that woman did not fix their plate, how do you don't let the devil and don't let your emotions, don't let emotional instability cause you to equate passion with the plate.
Yes.
Don't. And so I'm telling you now,
that'll make you so miserable.
Absolutely. You get in your head, she didn't, because he don't call, he don't care. Don't let the devil and don't let your emotions don't assume that.
Yeah.
You got it? That's what's called fairy tales. That's fairy tale living. That everything is so perfect, and that's the romanticizing.
That's the Facebook relationships.
Oh, absolutely. Don't let that Facebook thing fool you. Because a lot of those people that's on Facebook smiling, they struggling. You ain't doing me like that girl on Facebook. That's a filter. that's a filter, boss. That's a filter.
Yes.
Listen, yeah. So just because somebody didn't call you doesn't mean they don't care.
Right.
Just because somebody didn't know what you wanted doesn't mean that they don't care about what you want. Don't let assumption become your fact.
Because people are not mind readers.
People are not mind readers.
We learned that early on in marriage. There were things I wanted him to do for me, but I didn't tell him. Mm-hmm. Not a mind reader. Okay, so be clear when you ask for something.
That's great.
George Bernard Shaw said, the problem with communication is that people believe it has already happened. You're dealing with it like it has already happened in your mind. You already, anybody, it's like you talked about the conversation. You know how you have an argument and you've already argued and the person may be miles away from you, but they're on the way home and you've already had the argument in your mind. You've already decided that when he say this, I'm going to say that. I did that one time. I did that. I remember a long time ago. People say years ago. And we were,
you did that?
Yeah, we having an argument on the way to work, and we've always worked together. So this is years and years ago. And I remember when we pulled up to my building, it was time for me to get out. So the argument, we had to squash it but I remember all that day. I couldn't wait to get back in the car because I was going to say, okay, and then remember this and remember that. That's just ridiculous.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
See? Y'all don't pray for me enough. See what I have to deal with? Y'all don't pray for me enough. So listen, check this out. So this is really good. Again, be clear when you ask for something and focus on what you want. This is powerful. In communicating, focus on what you want. Right. Because listen, when you make a request in your relationships, it's because you desire something. Right. Focus on what you really want. Focus on what really matters. And don't be sidetracked with all these other thoughts. Mm-hmm. Don't be sidetracked with, if what you really want is your spouse to fix your plate. Don't bring all this other stuff in because you don't do this, and this. Focus on what I'd like for you to do is, can you fix my plate for me? Because say what you want.
Ooh, and don't say, I want you to fix my plate, or you don't ever fix my plate, because so-and-so wife fix their plate all the time. Ooh, don't do that. You'll never, ever get people motivated like that.
You never know. The only reason so-and-so's wife may fix her plate is because so-and-so's wife can't cook. And the only way that she know he get it out the boiler is she get it out herself. I'm just telling you now, this is not a fairy tale. This is real life. And so, would nobody want to go get that thing out of her boiler? So check this out now. So again, focus on what you want to focus on. What really matters. What we really want is plates fixed. We don't want to fuss. Right. We don't want to fuss. We don't want to argue. We want results, and focus on what is going to bring those results. You got it?
Absolutely. Okay, making we statements. You've heard it all. Making we statements is the bread and butter of communication. We need to clean up a little bit more. Mm-hmm. We need to go get the groceries. We need to make we statements. We statements are that's one of the best things that you can do when you're communicating with someone, because I statements or you statements are awful because it points blame. Yes, it points blame. But we says we all do that. Pastor and I, in our conversation we were having, it was about some leadership stuff and things like that. And I remember we both said, we take the blame for that. My word is we take the L. Okay, so we all lost on that. Nobody, not you, not them, but we. Absolutely. So I love that. And like you always say, all have sinned, not y'all.
Not y'all have sinned.
Inclusion. That's inclusion.
Exactly. It's really good, because a lot of times we can say, you never take me out to dinner. Yeah. Well, you want to go. How about say, hey, we haven't gone out to dinner in quite a while. It's much less. It's much less accusatory. Yeah. It's more like First Lady said. It's inclusive. Yeah. And so, hey, we haven't been out in a while, as opposed to you don't never take me out. It's amazing how that diffuses situation. It's amazing how it diffuses situation and keeps people at ease. You can never have great communication when anybody's on the defense. Right. Because I'm already shielded up and protecting myself because you're attacking me. So when you don't attack me, and we can address issues, I'm much more open and willing to protect. That was great for somebody.
And then it'll make you feel like, if I say we haven't been out, then you make, man, she really care about me going out.
Absolutely.
As opposed to, it's just about me. Because that's what I said at the beginning. It's not about you. And we statements make it not seem like it's about me or about you all the time.
Absolutely. Hey, I hope this bless you guys. Hope you're enjoying it. Drop us a comment. Let us know that you're tuned in. Hope it's helping somebody. Looks like our hearts are moving kind of slow. I hope we're not having Wi-Fi issues. So if it's buffering or something, let me know so we can make sure we can address that. Because I don't like watching buffering videos, so let us know. So this is big. Great key on key number 6, rule number 6 about communication. Learn yourself. Learn yourself. This is so powerful. It goes back to the first statement we made, that communication is hinged on my own personal self-help.
Right.
Self-help, not self-help. And so I have to learn, do I take certain, this is really dope.
You have to know emotional intelligence.
Absolutely, emotional intelligence. I have to learn me and understand, do I raise my voice too much?
Yeah.
Do I get offended easily? Do I shut down when I feel opposed? Do I cut off other people's statements? Do I not let them talk? Do I assume the worst, or do I get offensive? All these things are things I have to study about myself.
Right.
I got to take it to a text. The scripture says, if I will judge myself, I don't need to be judged.
Right.
What it means is, if I will hold myself accountable, if I will study me, and if I know how I do, I don't have to worry about that.
Right.
I know me better than anybody else knows me.
Absolutely.
So that's really powerful, man. You always want to do that. Study yourself and check yourself out.
Ooh.
And one of the greatest ways to do this is, and it's painful, ask people to assess you.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. And don't be mad when they tell you, and listen, ask the people who will really tell you. Don't ask people who, you have some people in your life that's, oh, girl, it's good, you're good, everything. No, you need to ask people who will be truthful with you, who really love you, and they want to see you change. Absolutely. And then if people are, sometimes you don't have to ask them. Sometimes people tell you. Sometimes people will say, stop yelling so much. Why you always got to scream? Why you always got your arms folded up? Why you always looking, rolling your eyes? Sometimes people have to tell you. Some people will tell you. And listen, don't get mad if 5 people telling you the same thing.
It's true.
It's probably true. So just don't get mad. Just investigate it and fix it.
It's true. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person.
It does not mean.
It means we just need to improve, because I can't say this enough. We were all taught to talk, but few of us were taught to communicate.
Right. That's good.
That is so key. That is so key. So here's the last thing, and here's our last point. Listen. You say we choreographed that. We planned that out. Do it one more time. Listen. You was off rhythm. Listen, many people think communicating is mostly about telling people about yourself. They talk and they talk and they talk and they talk and they talk.
Right.
So what happens is, communication is just as much about listening, but they have to be willing to this was really cool. We talked even in service last night. You should really go back and check that out. The Rebirth Christian Fellowship Facebook page, service last night was really cool. We talked about some of the same stuff, man. A little different, some stuff, but it's really still about communicating. But you have to listen with your heart as well as listen with your head.
Right.
Listen with your heart, meaning give people the benefit of the doubt that they really aren't trying to hurt you. And then listen with your head to really say, are they really telling the truth?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, most people don't listen. And so we always want to commit to listening. Is not just waiting for your turn to speak.
Yes.
Listening is not just waiting on them to stop talking so you can say what you've been.
Ooh, like that. Yeah. That was an example. Go ahead. That was an example. that was an example.
Y'all don't pray for me enough. I promise y'all don't pray for me enough. Y'all got me out here all this thing all by myself. I don't know what on the Isle of Patmos. Isle of Patmos. Y'all ain't praying for the preacher. No, really, most times, just think about it. In conversations, in debate, in tough conversation, within 5 seconds, you already have a rebuttal.
Yep.
And we turn off the other 25 seconds of listening because we're waiting on them to take a breath so we can say what we planned the first 5 seconds. And we never really, many times, never waited to get the supplemental information of why they believe what they believe. It's powerful, man. And this is simple stuff, but it'll really help us, because this stuff applies not just in marriage, across the board with your employers, with your children. Man, most parents, we don't listen.
Yeah.
We don't listen. We don't listen because I'm the mama, I'm the daddy. And there's so much that we miss simply because we choose to not listen. And it's a choice. we choose to not listen.
And I'm gonna say this too, because you think about it. You say in the first 5 minutes of the conversation, you already got your rebuttal. And you're thinking about it. The interesting thing is, and most of the time, you're not listening to the person at all, because in order to hold that thought, you got to continuously focus on what you're getting ready to say. If you stop focusing on what you want to say to the other person, the thought is going to go away. So if you really want to make sure that you're getting ready, I want to tell him what I'm going to say. I'm going to tell my point. If you try to hold that thought, you're not listening to it. It sounds like Charlie Brown teacher.
Absolutely.
Womp, womp, womp,
Absolutely.
womp. You're not listening. So, but I listen to you. I do. I be listening to everything you say. I do. Cause I do. Praise the Lord.
Sips tea.
So anyway.
So listen, these are active that we're going to talk about as we get ready to bring you guys around. Listen, we talked about again as we address this thing. Listen. I'm telling you now. Just as much as parents have to listen, our children have to listen, because all of us across the board. Everybody wants their own way.
Right, exactly.
Everybody wants that. This is my football. I want it my way. And that is poor communication. It really hinders us from moving forward, because communication is the key to it's the glue to having good, healthy relationships.
Right.
So, your friend Vicky.
Hey, Vicky.
She's your friend first. She's my friend now. So, active listening skills. Let's close this thing out. Help you listen. These are healthy things that we can do to listen. Number one, in helping to listen better, make eye contact. No, try as much as possible without being uncomfortable. You don't want to, start peering into people's souls, but periodically you want to make eye contact so that we know that we're engaging.
Exactly. Minimize external distractions.
Correct.
Don't have you're trying to talk. Don't have your cell phone. You talk to him. Talk.
What you doing? What's your phone on? You got a boyfriend?
See, you got to minimize the external distractions, cell phone, TV, and it'll be great if you have children to be able to go somewhere where the children aren't around. Because, if you have small kids, they're going to come in. Mama, what you doing? Mama, I want this.
Absolutely.
Dad, I want, So you got to make sure you do that. Minimize the external distractions so you can really focus in and hear what the other person is saying.
Absolutely. Because what it does is it causes a person to feel that their position is not valued.
Right.
If I'm telling you what really matters to me, and I'm telling you, and I'm bearing my soul, and you looking at the ball game.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we do, which helps people understand and be sensitive to people's time.
To the times.
If you know that, First Lady knows I'm a huge Laker fan, and to come in and I'm watching the game and stand in front of the television. So you don't care about our marriage. No, I do, but I would care about the game. If you really cared about our marriage, you'll turn the game off. Well, come on, man. That's not fair.
Yeah,
Put Facebook down, put the phone down, sit down and have some uninterrupted time and schedule that stuff. So because this is the key to us moving forward, having healthy communication.
Or on your way to work, when I have to be at work, if I have to leave the house in 5 minutes and you want to start a deep conversation. Well, I have to leave in 5 minutes. So if I leave, you're going to say, so you don't want to talk about it. Well, I don't want to lose my job, because then if I lose the job, we're really going to be arguing about stuff. So you want to make sure that you have good timing.
Absolutely. I always want to, who's it's your turn?
Yours. Yeah.
It's my turn. You give it to me?
I'm giving it to you.
Focus on what the speaker is saying. Focus on what the speaker is saying. Don't focus on what you think they're saying. Don't focus on what you hear. Focus on what the person is really saying to you.
Right. And ask the speaker to reiterate points. Well, I think I skipped one, but okay. Or reword if you're unclear.
That's good.
So then you ask them, it's okay that, we do this thing, we teach couples called parrot talking, because when you say something to a person, then you say, okay, so what you're saying is, you repeat it back, because sometimes we don't really understand, or we may not have a clear idea of what they're saying. Again, today, when Pastor sent a text and he was talking about some structural things that we were getting ready to do, and I texted him, I said, well, I'll wait till you get home, because in text, I said, I can't really understand exactly what you're saying in the text, so I'll wait till you get home so that you can reiterate to me what you're saying.
Absolutely.
So it's okay to do that. I think people will respect that, because, and then you want to make sure that you have a clear understanding, because if you don't have a clear understanding, then next thing you know, you're mad about something, and you're doing a cold shoulder and silent treatment, and you're aggravated and frustrated about something that you were just unclear about.
Absolutely. It's always great to ask for clarity.
Right.
In any communication, if you're working on a business deal, any kind of proposal, if you're not sure and you're not clear, ask. I would rather repeat myself and we do well than you don't ask me and we fail.
Right.
Always want to keep an open mind.
Yes.
Always keep an open mind. Never go into any kind of communication. Never deal. And this is really big. And this really just dropped in my heart. Keep an open mind and don't go into conversations with your spouse or people, men are talking about spouses, predisposed that this is how this person is.
Right.
I already know how she's going to take it. Don't rob your spouse of the gift of growth.
Right.
And that's so big, because as your spouse is growing, family members are growing and they're developing things that they may not have been able to handle 3 years ago. They may be able to handle now.
Right,
so you have to give them the benefit of the doubt that they've developed. Well, if you haven't closed, if you don't have an open mind, well, I know she's going to fuss about this. Well, she may be more mature now.
Right.
So give them the benefit of the doubt that you can address issues without it turning into an argument. Because, honestly, early on, everything was, you couldn't say anything about anything, and, it just turned to a big match, big shouting match, or not a shouting.
No, we used to just do the whole, I am this one, I'm not going to talk to you thing.
Yeah.
Just real silent and sour.
Right. And so what's happened is, as we've grown through the result of coaching and spiritually, and things that we've helped other couples implement, that we kept some of it ourselves, we have much healthier conflict now. So come in with an open mind personally about what you believe and what you think, as well as what you think about your spouse. They are growing. Right. The problem is, you can visibly tell when their hair is growing, when their nails are growing. You can't always visibly tell when their emotional well-being is growing. So you just have to press lightly and see, hey, it is getting better. So give them that. I really feel that was for somebody. So hold on to that. Okay, and then hey, I need everybody to put your emojis. Just start putting your little. Oh my God, put those emojis up, because this is the hard one. Even if the speaker is launching a complaint against you, wait until they finish to defend yourself. Ooh, that's hard. That's hard. But even if they're launching a complaint, you gotta allow them to get everything out that they need to get out. Because here's the thing: if they're launching a complaint, by the end of the conversation, or by the end, yes, Danica, yes. By the end of the conversation, Danica put like 12. I'm like, oh my God. By the end of the conversation, they may have come around, and they may explain to you why they're feeling the way that they're feeling, and the conversation really could end differently. Conversations end differently than they start. Absolutely. Okay. Hey, I hope you guys shared this video, man. This is really a lot of fun, and it's really good stuff. Albernica Gaines, is that the? Not me. Don't you tell nobody. Yeah. Check this thing out. Listen, clearly define the problem. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Clearly define the problem. Clarify what the actual conflict is first. And then, you want to see if there are other ways that you can resolve this, or see if there's a real reason why we have conflict. Right. The real issue may not be work. It could be that we've not had enough rest. It could be that we're not healthy. Right. It could be so many other things, and it's kind of like forest fires. Put out the real fire first. I mean, one fire can spark so many other things. So clearly define. You know what? This ain't even really about the kids. Yeah. This really is not about your mother. We're on a whole tangent. Our issue is we have not been on a date in a while. Yeah. So it's really not even about you don't love me, you don't respect me. Listen, we've gotten in a rut of living life. Let's go do something fun for ourselves. Just really get it. I'm hungry. Hangry. Yeah, I get hangry. I get real hangry. So just, you feed me, I'm good. Gotcha. All right, don't argue about details. That's my favorite one. Okay, so you were 15 minutes late. You supposed to say something. You supposed to do that. Oh. We're going to be the example. Okay, do it again. Okay, you were 15 minutes late. I was only 10 minutes late.
See, you can't argue about the details. You slow. You can't argue about the details.
I wasn't that slow.
This
was
is
just a little slow.
You was just a little slow. See, he was slow, and he said I'm just a little slow. Don't argue about details. Late is late. Bad is bad, wrong is wrong. It's not like a little wrong, not like a little white lie. And it's don't argue about the details, because that, I'm telling you, it's so that's his word. It is really disrespectful though. Don't argue about the details. Let's address the problem.
Discuss one thing at a time.
Yep.
Many times we try to coach couples that when you've scheduled time of conflict resolution, have a list. And really, this is powerful. If you will make a list of the things that you want to discuss, many times you can see that some of the items are results of other issues.
Right.
So you may have 5 things you think are going wrong, really may only be 2, because 2 of them are sparking 3 other things.
Right.
If you get to the root of the issue and get back to time together, you can eliminate frustration. You can eliminate, we haven't been out, let's get back to time, and we can kill 3 or 4 things at one time.
Right.
If you discuss one thing at a time, put on a sheet of paper, you can say, okay, want to address this, this, and this, and we can stay on task and don't get down rabbit trails and bring in your mother and bring in your job.
Yes.
All those things are smoke screens. Stay on task with the real matter at hand.
Exactly.
A list will really help you do that.
Ooh, avoid power statements. I want a divorce. I'm leaving. You make me sick. I can't take it no more. I'm done. I'm done. You got to avoid power statements. And then stop saying things you really don't mean.
Absolutely.
We have to realize when we say things like that, and if you say, I want a divorce, I just want a divorce. Well, let's just get a divorce. Eventually, that person's going to say, okay, we're going to get a divorce.
Absolutely.
You keep saying it long enough, they're going to do it.
Absolutely. Avoid those power statements. Don't confront when you're angry. We just talked about that. If you know you're emotionally off balance, if you're angry, it may not be the right time to discuss pressing issues, because you're emotionally off base. Don't confront issues when you're angry. Cool off first, so you don't say things that you don't mean or things that you do mean, but you don't want to say. But you shouldn't say it. So evaluate yourself. Let's go back to learning yourself, knowing that when you're uptight, it's not the best time to really start talking.
And don't use the silent treatment. Oh my God, silent treatment is awful.
Absolutely.
Like we said earlier on in our marriage, oh my God, we would just go for like days and just say yes, no. You got the kids stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need you need gas in your car. Yeah, just the general. It was awful. That is so unfulfilling.
Absolutely. And one of the things that you do is you miss out on so many wonderful experiences. Like I was riding today and I called First Lady. And I realized one of the reasons I say that she's my best friend is because whenever something of significance matters, she's the first person I want to talk to about it. That's how I gauge a best friend, the person that you want to be a part of every significant issue. And it was not majorly significant, but I called and I realized I called her like 5 times the last 20 minutes, and they were all like 2-minute conversations. Then I realized, man, I'm just blowing this girl phone up, and I told her, I was like, this really wasn't even nothing. It seemed to be, major at the time. But what happens is you miss, when you commit to be silent, you miss out on so many small victories and so many powerful but minimal interactions. When you're trying to be silent, you miss out on so much.
Yeah, and sometimes I remember even back in the day, you really get tired of being silent, you forget. And you start talking, then you get mad because you don't want to talk. So it's really hard. You have to really force yourself to be silent and not talk to people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And honestly, we have to see this thing as a great state of immaturity.
Right.
That we're not committed to silent treatment because we never resolve anything. But the other thing, too, is we act like little kids that, you're not my friend anymore.
Yeah.
That's such a really immature perspective. And you can never build a great marriage with that kind of emotional immaturity.
Exactly.
So cut it out now. Kill the silent treatment already. Always control your hands and tongue. Don't put your hands on anybody.
Right.
Men and women.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't put, Jesus Christ, ladies, don't. I'll fight you like a man. Most of you can't.
Yeah.
Some of you can. I'll fight you like a man. Sugar, you don't want that work.
Yeah.
And then don't create this attitude and environment of violence.
Right.
Control your tongue. Control your hands. Stop saying stuff that you know is going to push people's triggers and hurt them, because this is what folks don't realize. When I say things that hurt you and damage you, the damage isn't over when the conversation is over. So tomorrow I got to still live with that damaged person.
Yes.
And when I've tried to destroy your esteem, your confidence, your character, and now when I'm not mad anymore, I got a messed up spouse.
Right, exactly.
Because I damaged them with the words that came out of my mouth. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that.
Don't compare your mate to others.
That's great.
Ooh,
Absolutely.
ooh. Don't compare. Do not come home telling your spouse about what the man on the job or the lady on the job said or did, what they do for their wife or their husbands, or do not do that. Is the worst thing in the world. I'm telling you, that will shut a person down quicker than anything. And I'm gonna say this too for all of you people who are, you go to your churches and you may not be members of Rebirth, but that. At home, when you guys are discussing, that's not the best time to say, well, pastor don't do first lady like that, or first lady don't do. Y'all don't know what be going on. So, don't
I know
do
she
that.
put her hands on me. I know that much.
What?
I'm just saying. That's what I do know. I know she ain't put her hands on me. That's what I do know.
But so you want to make sure that you do not compare. That is one of the ultimate forms of disrespect, and nobody wants you to bring another person into their relationship.
Absolutely.
Because if you think about it, you do that, and then they say, well, you need to go be married to him, then your feelings get hurt.
Absolutely. It's always disrespectful. Never want to compare your spouse to other people. When you're wrong, admit it. When you're wrong, admit it. That's just maturity. That's just taking ownership. That's just really being mature.
Right.
I was wrong. I was late.
Yep.
I didn't do it. That's
That's
just, I'm telling you, and what it does is, it really, people don't realize that when you acknowledge what you did wrong, you start building trust in other people.
Exactly.
They know
Exactly.
that you're going to be a person of your word, and when you're wrong, you're going to admit it. You're not going to hide it. You're not going to cover it up. People will trust you being honest about yourself.
Exactly. Oh, that's a good one. Don't drag in outsiders.
It's very good.
Do not bring in your mama and your cousin and all them into the relationship, your best friend and whoever else, your co-workers, because what happens is when you and your spouse are back together, those people still mad because they love you. And then, or they're looking at you like you crazy and they're like, girl, why you with him? And then you come back and I'm like, girl, we went so-and-so and we went out and we had a great time. And then next thing you know, they're like, well, I thought he just did X, Y, Z to you. Exactly. So you gotta allow you and your spouse the opportunity to go through things, to fix things, to hurt, to heal, to love, to cry, to do all of those things. You have to allow yourself to do that in the privacy of your own home, because the ultimate goal is for you guys to have an amazing, awesome marriage where you love and enjoy being with each other. So when you get to that love, enjoying being with each other stage, all these people you done left behind, they're still looking at you crazy, and you and your husband enjoying, y'all done forgave each other, y'all done moved forward. But all the people behind say, looking at you, and they're going to constantly say, girl, remember last year, y'all, don't do it.
Absolutely.
One
of the things that as much as it sounds to be oxymoron, nothing builds a strong relationship like trouble.
Right.
Resilience is built through resistance.
Right.
And if you will process, no matter what the relationship is, if you will learn to maturely handle the resistance in your relationship, it will build the resilience that you can handle more in the future. So value, it sounds crazy, value, challenge, because this is what's fortifying your relationships.
Right.
It's as weird as when the scripture says, count it all joy.
Count it all joy.
When you fall into diverse temptations. Why? Because the trying of your faith is working something in you. So count it all joy when you have some of these conflicts. Hey, ain't no problem. It's making us better. We're learning each other, and we're counting it joy. We're gonna be better on the other side of this. Almost done. Coming in for a landing. Forgive your mate and do not hold resentment.
Ooh.
Forgive them and don't hold resentment.
That's a hard one.
It's a state of maturity and growth that I have to choose, that I still disagree, but I'm going to forgive you, and I'm not going to hold resentment, because we're growing, we're developing, we're getting better, and we're working on refining our relationship. We don't have to do this next year.
Right.
We're not going to do this next year. We're going to get better.
Right. And make conflict resolution a regular habit. Everything we just laid out for you guys, it has to be done regularly. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure that you put work into making your marriage great. marriage, if it was easy and we could just, say, oh, the love, we just love each other and the love is going to take us and keep us. Well, how many people know after about 2-3 years, the love and stuff may wane a little bit. You like, okay, I love you, but ooh, you got to put in the work. You have to that's when the commitment comes in. That's when the conscious decisions come in where you say, okay, I'm in this for the long haul. So whatever we need to do to get this marriage to be a great marriage, our new creation marriage, whatever we need to do, that's what we're going to do. And we just laid out all these rules for couples conflict and all these things right here. Take these rules and use them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't make poor use of your data plan. Use the tips and skills that you got tonight. Even though we laughed a lot, we joked about some things. It's very, very serious. A lot of stuff that you can take and implement. Start implementing today, and I promise you, it will cause you and help you to reevaluate, reform your marriage. So, hey, we're excited. We were glad to be able to come in and share this with you tonight. Pray that something was said that will make you laugh and help you love your spouse better, help you live together better. Do us a favor. Again, share the videos. Make your comments if you have any questions, things that we need to clarify. Also, drop in the comments topics that you may want us to do webinars on. I really hope you guys got blessed, and I hope you guys got something out of it. But you can make your comments, ask for specific topics that you want us to talk about. We do these every month. We commit to do them every month. We want to make sure that what we're saying are things that you need. Make sure you follow the Taylor Made Marriage page. Share it. Because we put devotionals, photos, a bunch of good stuff out there to help you make your marriage the best that it can be. So, thank you guys for tuning in tonight.
Thank you for coming, Taylor Made. We love you.
Love all the Taylor Made.
Look forward to the videos. Family. And look forward to this summer. We're going to do some fun stuff this summer. So, y'all get ready to hang out and meet up and do all kind of great fun stuff this summer. So, we're looking forward to it.
I'm looking for a convertible for us, so we'll be Taylor Made with the top down.
Yes.
Taylor Made top down marriage.
That's cute.
Taylor Made top down.
Yeah. Digging on the scene with the gangster look. Yeah.
She don't know nothing about me.
Okay, see y'all later, Taylor Made. Love you.
Love y'all. Have a good one. Enjoy y'all night.
Bye-bye.